Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tinsel Town Live with Miz Meliz. I'm Melissa Reyes, and tonight I have a special guest. His name is Drew Waters. He's the director of a film that's coming out this week called New Life. I had the opportunity to see it, and it was fantastic. I can't wait to talk to him about it. So I'm going to bring him in. So I'm going to split my screen here into something super special. Wait till you see this. And now I'm going to put Drew over there, and there he is.
You.
Good, thank you. Welcome, Drew. Welcome to Tinsel Town tonight. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. But by the way, thanks for watching the movie. That's a feat in itself. We trying to get people to sit down and watch movies nowadays are hard. So thank you for taking a look at it and wanting to talk.
It was, it was easier than I thought. They sent me a little access thing, and I was able to watch it. My son and I watched it together, and it was so good. My girlfriend and I watched it again. We watched it a second time.
Really?
Yeah.
You go out to theaters this Friday and watch it again because it does a lot to make more.
I will. Now, I saw the list of places where it's going to be this week. Right now, and it is. It's going to be like in Long Beach and in Orange County. When does it come out in broader? What's the story with that? Do I have to like?
Well, here, let me give you a rundown real quick where it's going to be and stuff. So we're going to be at the Mall of Georgia in Atlanta. We're going to be McDonough Stadium 16 in Atlanta, Hollywood 24 in Chamblee, Atlanta, Georgia. These are all Georgias.
Oh, this is Hollywood, Georgia.
No. This is Atlanta, Georgia. So
Atlanta, Georgia. That's what they call their theater, huh? Because everybody wants to be like Hollywood.
I know they got Atlanta, Hollywood, Atlanta. It's confusing.
They got Atlanta.
The best place to go to is just go to our website. If you go to newlifethemovie.com and click on the big blue button that says Find Your Theater, it'll tell you all the list of theaters that we're in. That we're opening up in. We are opening up in 11 markets, 20 screens this Friday, and we're doing a limited theatrical, and then we're going to blank it out from there, and we'll see where it goes.
So what is it? It's newlifethemovie.com?
Newlifethemovie.com, just like it sounds.
Okay, so I put that link in there, and you can see the trailer if you click on that, and then you can go and find out exactly where it's playing near you. So now we've got that taken care of. Drew, tell me a little bit about yourself, let's get to know each other a little bit. Tell me about, just tell me about you and yourself.
Well, I am a father of two beautiful girls. I have been acting for about 14 years now, and New Life is my true first feature film to direct. Our production company, Argentum Entertainment, we started Argentum Entertainment about 3 years ago with my partner, Aaron Bethay. And we wanted to get back to good storytelling. She kind of didn't like the way her acting career was going. I didn't like the way mine was going. I wanted to get back to good family value, friendly, concept projects. And so we sat around a fire pit one night. Well, we met on a movie set, and we sat around a fire pit, and we just kept talking about things, and we had the same ideas and concepts and what we wanted to create and what we wanted to show people and what we wanted to be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And I pitched her the concept of New Life, and it was a short at the time, and she said she loved it, and I let her read it, and she said, "Oh, I love it even more, but why do you want to make a short?" And she talked me into doing a feature, and so we set out to write a feature, and a lot of hands touched it along the way, but I hope you said you've seen it. I hope the rest of the people in the world says the same thing and said they enjoy it and want to go see it multiple times, because it's a very personal, passionate story for me, and I'm very blessed and honored to be able to actually see it come to the big screen and share it with everyone.
So tell me a little bit about the story when you wrote it. Is it what motivated you to write that story?
Well, as I said, it came from a personal place. My grandfather, which he was my best friend, and unfortunately, he outlived two loves of his life. And the second one, it's not unfortunate that he outlived it, but it's unfortunate for him because he was a romantic, and he was just a caring man. And my grandmother passed away very young, and he remarried, you know, years later. And when his second wife passed, it was just devastating to him. And so there's a name for it, I forget what it is, but he passed away right after, because of a broken heart. Mm-hmm. And you know, being my best friend, he left so many people that still needed him in their lives behind, and I struggled with it for a long time. And so I wanted to build something that remembered the positive moments of life, leading into the hardship, coming out the other side with hope. Mm-hmm. And I wrapped it around a love story. And New Life follows a journey lifespan of 30 years. And you meet Ben and Ava, the main characters, for the first time at 6 and 7, and you go on this beautiful journey with them that showcases all the beautiful moments that, you know, we can remember as having memories of and stuff as children and teenagers and young adults going through, and then goes through the trial and tribulations, the hardships, and then comes out the other side with hope.
Yeah, with hope. He says easily, with hope. There's always hope. I think I related to that part of the story of the growing up, because my husband and I met in 10th grade. And so we've been married almost 25 years, and we've known each other about over 30 years. And well, gosh, we've been together over 30 years. So we've known each other like 35 years. Okay. So we were, you know, young teenagers when we met, and have definitely gone through every stage of our lives together. And having those flashes of memories through the movie just reminded me of all those little things. And it really seemed told from his point of view, where I could picture it being told kind of like you're the person, you're the guy. You know, that's kind of like, it kind of seemed like it was coming from your heart.
Well, it's funny because when we started, we had some writers attached to it at first, and you know, they got us a platform of what kind of the concept of what we were looking for, but it just wasn't exactly what we wanted. And so we took the idea, and we took some of the characteristics within it and stuff. And then Aaron and I, we sat down and we just tore it all apart and started over and rewrote it to where what you see on the screen today. And how we did it was very unique, because it was a dance, really. And we did it over Skype, most of it and stuff, because I was out of town and stuff, and she was somewhere else. And so after I got done working on a movie set, I'd call her and we'd start writing. But she would go, well, if Ben said this, then Ava would say this. And I would say, okay, well, Ava says that. And we just continue to have this conversation. And the key to New Life, to me, what I wanted to direct and what I wanted to create and show people was reality of life. I didn't want to sugarcoat it and you know make it beautiful, but I wanted to make real life, and I wanted to make it honest and true, and with the emotions and everything else. And so we really worked hard to make those conversations feel that way. And then, of course, you know, we sent it out there and we got feedback, and we adjusted things. And along the way, we probably went through about 18 different drafts on that script when we got done.
How hard is that for you to adjust? Like, this was your first writing screenplay experience, right?
Yes.
That editing process, like, do you ever feel like, I wish I could just go back to the drawing board and my original idea, it's changed a lot? Or do you think it's just kind of blossomed and grown to good place? Like, how hard is that?
Well, I started out wanting to keep the concept of the short. And so what we realized was we could put elements in the feature that the shorts carried. We just put it in a different way. And, you know, it was a hard start, because I didn't know how to actually bring it full circle. But after 6 weeks, we stepped back and looked at it. We had about a 108-page script, and we're like, all right, we're getting somewhere. This is really good. It has a beginning, middle, and end. So now how do we attach it all together really nicely and not make it, you know, drawn out and not make it feel vanilla, and just bring the life into it? And that's when we really started relying on other people to send it out, give us ideas, and we'd come back in and think about it. And then we also put in a lot of our own personal experiences of life. And that's what I think the biggest comment we received of this movie is that it just feels very real and honest and hopeful.
It does. It does. And like, I'm sharing some of the tiny little GIFs that were on the website that anybody could download.
Oh, I love that. I see them, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's totally cute because those tiny little bits kind of show you how the emotion shows through, that joy that the couple had. And look at this one is really fun too. Let's see if I can get
it. Erin is you want to talk about a marketing guru. Not only is she a great actress and writer, but this is her idea. She's pulled. I've cut them. I'm kind of like the editor and anything that has to do with video, and she does everything with steel and marketing. So.
Oh, well, the two of you are a great team. Do you want to talk about that for a while? What is that like?
I would love to. It's she says it best. I will say she summed us up perfectly. She says we're like the balloon and basket. I'm a balloon. I have all these ideas, and I go off and I'm floating up here, and she goes, no, come back down here. Give me the ideas. Let's take a look at them. And she puts them all back in a kind of organized, box, and hands them back to me. And she goes, all right, now you can go and go fulfill those dreams, and let's, bring them back, and we'll go. And it's just a perfect. I couldn't ask for a better partner. I'll be honest with you. She brings the best out of me, and I hope I bring the best out of her. And this movie is a collaboration between the two of us. It started in my brain. And I handed her a short, and everything else has been a complete collaboration between the two of us to make this thing what it is. And without her, it wouldn't have been what it is.
How long did the process take, the project from that point when you talked to her about it till today?
It was 2012, June 2012, when I spoke to her first about it. We had the first draft 2013, early 2013, and then I think towards like November of 2013, we had pretty much a lock draft. We were changing a few things here and there for a lock draft. And we were originally going to shoot it in 2014, and some timing issues and everything else came up, and so it was pushed to 2015, and we shot it. We started shooting principal photography in June of 2015.
Wow, that's a huge project. I don't know how long they usually last. I'm sure that. But you've been involved with every process, every part of it, producing, directing, writing. And so I know that you've produced before, and then you started your own almost production company. Was that for this film, or that's something else you do?
Well, I had a smaller one. It was more like the hosting shows and things like that, because it was doing passion pieces that I really wanted to do. But this one, Argentum Entertainment, it was Erin and I's baby, our brainchild. She came up with the concept. We were trying to figure out, okay, what's a good catchy name for a company, which is one of the hardest things to figure out when you open a company. And we started really thinking about, okay, what do we want to stand for? Our slogan of our company is taking out the except fors and getting back to good storytelling. So, you walk into a movie, you're like, man, that was a great movie, except for why did they have that, like, raunchy sex scene, or why they have to say the cuss word so many times, or all that violence, and it's usually for shock value. And so we wanted to get back to good storytelling, and we love the silver screen. And so Argentum Entertainment is the purest form of silver. So if you're getting back to just good quality storytelling, and silver screen, just entertainment.
That's pretty neat. So what are some of the challenges that you face with producing and promoting a film like this? Because what it makes it different from mainstream Hollywood films is that it has that purity aspect. So, you call it Christian, faith-based, but it's really just without the except fors, right? So I totally get that. But what are those challenges that you're facing with this? Did you expect to have that happen?
Well, I got to tell you, it's not so much the challenges facing us now as it is the surprise. I mean, the challenges are always there. We're launching in theaters on Friday, and we're still finalizing details on it. So the production side of it never stops. I think between the two of us, we have
zapped out a little bit there. You keep talking.
For the last week and a half.
I don't know what happened here. I can't hear you anymore, Drew, and it looks like it zapped out. You might have to refresh. And so while Drew is refreshing, I'm going to move him from here, and he'll be back. Don't worry about a thing. Let's see if we can get Drew to come back in. And I see Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan says he may need to refresh. And if you can't hear us, I'm going to type that in. So please, Drew, please refresh. Hopefully he knows what that means. He's like, I'm refreshed. I'm fine. So anyhow, those of you who are on Facebook and watching me right now, please either jump into Smile Time or ask your questions right there on Facebook, and Jonathan will field those questions to Drew, and then we're going to have some time for questions if Drew comes back. And I think, let me see if I see him, and I don't know. He's here. I'll try it one more time. Invite it. You have to accept, and then I can put you back in. He's probably still talking. But hopefully he'll be able to come back, and I really, really excited to hear more about New Life. But I'll tell you, I enjoyed seeing the movie so much, and it had some similarities to other films that we've seen, but it was very unique because it did tell, like you said, the 30-year lifespan of this relationship. And what happens is, I don't want to do, there's no spoilers here, man. You see the movie and tell me what you thought. I don't always like people to tell me what they liked and didn't like about the movie. But I just will tell you that I did like this movie very much, and I look forward to seeing it in the theaters. And it left me feeling very hopeful. It was sad. It is sad. It's emotional. But I'm very proud to have a connection with Drew and his agency and his theme of Argentum and purity. I think that fits right into what we're talking about on Tinsel Town. And as a whole on Miz Meliz, it's about finding your passion and living your purpose. And that's why Drew Waters is a superstar to me, because he has done that and done everything in his power to make this story something that everybody can love for all time. And it has been compared to The Notebook and movies like that just grab at you and you can't stop thinking about them. So, and it's one that you'll want to watch with your kids and your friends. So I'm sorry that I don't see Drew here. I'm going to refresh myself. And if we have to do a part 2, we will. I guess that's one way to do it. I don't know, Jonathan, if you could pop in and let me know. I'm going to open up my Facebook and just smile here for a minute and see if I can get everything back up and running. Because, you know, why? Okay, yep, I just see me. Love the story behind the name of the company. Yeah, isn't that great? I'm looking at the comments here. This is why I love live shows. Live shows are crazy. I know. Thanks for hanging in with me on Facebook. Everybody, I'm gonna try and bring Drew in again. Let's see what's going on over here. Drew's back on. Yay, Drew's back on. Now he only has 5 minutes, so I think we should just cut to questions. And okay, Drew. He's back. That was
Can't trust the internet anymore.
I
Can't trust.
I'm going to tell you a quick story. I work at a school, and I work in a campus ministry office, which is really fun. And the kids come in at lunchtime, and we have a widescreen TV, and I like to show movies in there. So we're going to watch a movie today. Same thing happened. I had it set up, ready to go, pause the movie so they could finish their lunch. We could turn the lights out. They could have half an hour to watch part of a movie. No big deal, right? Something we do all the time. Start
Right.
3 minutes in, internet connection lost. You know, the kids, it didn't faze them at all. No ahs, no oohs. They just kind of went on about what they're doing. And I'm like making phone calls, dragging IT in, you know, trying to get it going again. And it's so frustrating because, you know, they're just used to that technology in the school. There's so many computers and bandwidth and stuff. So that's how it is here on Tinsel Town. It's kind of like.
You never know. You never know what's going on. I'm gonna turn mine off on my phone and everything. I mean, I got full bars and everything. I got a pretty good internet system there. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, it's not you. It's crazy time. But you know what? Thank you for coming back again. Got you for a few more minutes. Let's see if we have any questions. Jonathan can help us out here. I'm gonna drop this little thing so I can see if we have. People are asking. Okay, so Jonathan has a morning show and he's on the East Coast, so it's late for him. And people are like, "Why aren't you in bed?" That's too funny.
What time's his morning show?
It's 10 a.m. our time, and no, it's 10 a.m. his time, 7 a.m. our time. It's not that anyway.
But just tell Jonathan, try launching a movie theatrically and stuff. Aaron and I, we have not got 3 hours of sleep a night for the last 2.5 weeks. we literally had our premiere in Indiana for Heartland Film Festival Friday. Saturday. No, let me get it right. Friday. We got back to the hotel, packed our stuff up around 1:30, headed to the airport, jumped on a plane, flew back to LA, and Aaron had to go to Atlanta to do press, and I was back here doing LA press. And last night I got 3 hours of sleep again, and you live on a high, I guess. I don't know.
It's gonna be like that for a while with you now, and to be out to doing this kind of thing. I thank you so much.
Of course.
I do have a question here. Without any spoilers, what was the most challenging scene to film? Jonathan himself wants to know that. Jonathan has five kids or 4 kids, by the way, so he knows about sleepless nights. I'll tell you. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, congratulations, Jonathan. I tell you, I love the film. I love the way it came out. I think the message is strong. I think that we've done 5 test audience screenings, and the project, their New Life, has rated 8.7 out of 10 across the board. And these are people that have never seen it before, but every one of them got the message, and the message is hope. But there's 5 scenes throughout this whole thing that are very, very special to me because either it was because my actors really gave everything. And when I say that, I don't want to give you, you got to see the movie.
I know. I can think of 2 or 3 that just.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've never seen one like this. You've never seen a scene like this. And that was so special to me, being a director of something that, we created. It gave me the opportunity to really go in post and push the envelopes of how far I wanted to take people and drive them into emotionally. And that was the scene on the dock. I'll say that. No one knows, but you know.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, why was it in the water? It was just like that. It was really gut-wrenching to watch.
There's a story behind that, which after we launched, we'll have to
a lot of symbolism. It really.
Yeah. And that scene was an accident. That scene was not in the script. It was when we got to Winona Lake, Indiana, where we shot it. We were talking to some of our investors, and they shared their friends shared a story about their lives and what happened with it and what they did to help get through it. And Aaron was like, "Oh my God, that's incredible!" And so she sat there and talked about it and stuff. And we did we figured out how to make it work within the script well enough to where we had to drop 3 scenes. And it became that important. But this was a beautiful accident. It was not in the original script, nor were we planning on doing it.
Wow, that was powerful. That was meant to be. That's this Holy Spirit, I think.
I'm telling you, it was it's a one taker anyway. So
I had this question on here. That's for sure, right? Okay, and nobody knows what we're talking about, but you will if you go see the movie, and I know you will because it's a must see. So we have another question is everybody. Claudia asked this, and I think we want to hear that it was challenging because when we watch a movie, it just looks like it was all so easy. What were some of the challenges in producing the film?
Well, I mean, the start of it is get people believing in it. you have a concept, you have an idea, and you're passionate about it. And so then you have to reach out to, fundraising and raising funds for a film is one of the harder things to do, just because it's not an easy, it's not a safe investment when it comes to other investments. Mm-hmm. It can be if you're with the right production company and the right people. It absolutely can. It's not completely fail-proof, but you can absolutely minimize risk. But that's what it comes with. It comes with, okay, let's find somebody that believes in as much as we do, that will be there as a partner and help finance this dream and this passion. And then from there, the next step is, okay, let's find the actors and actresses that can fulfill and pull off the characters. And once we found the partnership within the investment side of it, we turned ourselves to acting. And Aaron was always playing Ava in it. Like I said, we played across from each other, lead actors across from each other in a film. And I saw what she was capable of. Mm-hmm. And I was excited to have the opportunity to direct her and bring out the best that I could bring out of her. And she, you tell me you've seen it, I think she did a phenomenal job. I think when people see her in this role, people really know her from Fireproof and everything else. Right. And Erin wanted to transition out of faith. Even though she's a Christian, she didn't want to get away from her faith and stuff. She just wanted to transfer out of faith. And I wanted to transfer out of more of the hard, mainstream television and get into the family friendly value and just PG-13. And that's what this movie does. We built it for a mainstream audience, but we didn't want to alienate anyone. Yeah. And the Christian elements through it. They get married in a church. They bow their head at a montage at Thanksgiving, but we didn't have to push it towards anybody and push it on anybody. We never say Jesus. We never say God. But within the relationship,
you get a PG-13 rating if you do mention religion, right? Did you know that?
No. We got a PG rating. We thought we were going to get a PG-13 rating just based off of the. It's PG. Parent approval, because it does deal with a somewhat of a hard.
I want to say adult subject, but it's hard to understand if you're a little kid.
I would not recommend. My daughter's 11 years old, and we watched it with her, and she completely understood. But Cage, who plays young Ava, there's 3 age groups within the character. So we have young Ben and Ava, and then we have teenage Ben and Ava, and then we have young adults going all the way through. Right. And like I said, it covers a 30-year lifespan. But the young Ava, the cutest little girl in the world. She came in for auditions, and she was so professional. She was 6 years old, and she came in. She was so professional. Stand up, and she got in there, and she just knocked it out of the park. And when I talked to her a little bit, and she walks up to the desk, and she sticks her hand out straight out, and she shakes my hand. And she goes, "Good luck with the project, Mr. Waters," and hands me the business card and walks off. And I go, "Oh, well, there goes the young Ava." That had Aaron's spontaneity and personality and it all over it. And that was kind of a challenge, trying to, get those age groups to line up and look physically like Aaron when we got to that age.
I have to tell you, it was very believable. It could have been her. The younger one could have still been her to me. And then seeing Aaron doing promos with you on Facebook and what she looks like, and I thought her character as Ava was so believable that it was like I almost didn't believe the real Aaron. It was funny. It was, how she was a real life. All right, go back. It's like, wait, because I was just in love with her. And so we had a question here from starting and to finishing, how long the project taken. We did, I think you might have missed that, Claudia. Drew was saying it was they started in 2012, so about 4 years.
I created the concept 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I met Aaron in 2012, and that's when we took it. I took it from a short to a feature, and then we took it as we were writing a feature and stuff. We opened our Junction Entertainment, and then we started in the actual shooting process, actual production, we were in production for 23 days. We were shooting schedule. And then, you know, we're still in post-production. Yeah. we're at the last minute. We're still pushing. But I think what's so special about it, I think our score is so beautiful. I mean, Mark Weller did it, and he was such an amazing person to work with. He did Fireproof and Facing Giants and all those, and he wanted to kind of do something more along the line of a mainstream film as well, and push, you know, his level of talent, and he did. So far, everybody has just raved over the score as much as they had the film. And we're going to be releasing it pretty soon on iTunes, so you got to get that.
Oh, great. I'm looking the time, Drew. It's already past the time that I said I would keep you, but
that's all right. We keep going.
Oh, you're awesome. I have so many more questions for you. I always ask my guests what their core value is. Personally, what would you say is your core value?
My personal core value is honesty. I mean, well, and I say that because it's hard. Honesty means so many different things, I guess. It depends on who you're talking to. But just, you set out to do something, you tell somebody you're going to do something, then do that, you know. And no one's perfect. I think that if you're trying to live a perfect life, I struggled with it, and I came to realization that that's impossible. And that only took place is when I finally relinquished all control and accepted myself, you know, and that I don't have the control of what's going on in my life, you know. God does, and until I did that, I struggled and pushed back on everything, and I just accepted I'm not perfect. That's the thing, and I think that if people are looking at you to be perfect, I think then they need to look at themselves. You know, life isn't perfect. Our job on this earth is not to be perfect, but it is to be positive, and it is to be helpful, and it is to not be wasteful and not be addictive and all the things that, you know, that you find yourself doing every once in a while, depending on your attitude or the emotion that you're in. And so my core value is just be me. I am who you see. I don't really.
My theme for this week is be you, be yourself. So that's exactly, you just said that. That's, you know, we need to make an effort to, Martha Brettschneider says, to reduce the net suffering in the world. You have to bring an effort to be good and show goodness, and honesty is so important in that. Thank you.
Well, I mean, even no matter what it is you are, I mean, I hope you're not wanting to, you know, mass murder or anything else and stuff, but whatever it is, it's you. And then from there, people can either figure out a way to relate to you, talk to you, you know, motivate you, or decide, you know, maybe that relationship isn't for me. But if you're being somebody else and they find out later, well, then you kind of wasted their time and took valuable time away from them. And so just go through life being you, because you'll find your place within it and stuff. And there's no right or wrong within it. Just do right by others and do right by yourself.
So true. So true. So why did you not act in the film and direct it? Some directors do both.
I got a little cameo. You'll see a little cameo.
All right.
Yeah. I won't say it's like New York client number 3, but I got a little cameo.
I saw that in the credits.
I didn't want to. The story meant so much to me, and you know, ultimately, this story was a way for me to finally grieve over my grandfather's loss. And so, during the process of making it, I really found a lot of moments and memories in my own self with my grandfather, and just the journey of my life and my family and all that kind of helped me overcome the heartache and hurt that I was in. And the other reason why I really wanted an English actor for this film, I did. And Jonathan Patrick Moore, personally, I don't think anybody could have done it better. I really, really don't. I've been able and blessed to work with some great, talented actors and stuff. They'll tell you that not every character fits them. You know, just like me, I look at some characters, if I can relate to them and figure out how to make them feel real and natural and stuff, then I'll try to take it on. But if I can't, I'll pass it off, because it's just not doing it justice. When Jonathan walked in, He's Australian, by the way. We actually gave him some dialect coaching, and I thought he nailed it. It sounds great. The English side he nailed it. So
nailed it. I didn't detect that when I saw his video on Facebook where he's talking about the movie. But he did a great job in casting, and everybody was great. You have probably worked with a lot of those actors, and I saw so many familiar faces from all the shows that I love. So what was that like, casting some of those really familiar faces and putting them in these roles?
It was fantastic because, like you said, I got to work with quite a few of them. Irma P. Hall, which is a legend. She's been in everything. You got Barry Corbin's up right now. Barry Corbin, I've known Barry Corbin for probably around 8 years now. I've worked with him on a couple different projects, and that man, you and James Marster, everybody is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Here's the funny thing about James. James, he came in, he goes, you know what? He goes, Drew, thanks for just writing a great script. And he goes, I get pitched so many sci-fi movies and things like that. Thanks for just writing a great script that we could get behind and just be have an honest, truthful, emotional journey in it. And when Terry O'Quinn from Lost, when Terry O'Quinn stepped in,
great. And you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he's so great because he is kind of a creepy character, and then he played such a you used his personality, I guess, or what he's good at to really drive home what he is, the doctor in this. And it's just,
did you buy it? Did you buy him as a doctor, son?
Totally. I've met that doctor. You know how we all met that doctor, like doesn't seem to have the emotions, but that's what it takes for him to be so close to death all the time. Oh my God. You did such a great job. Congratulations.
We actually talked to some doctors that are in that field, and they're like, why'd you have to make him so like dry? Why'd you have to make him so this? We're like, well, we reached out to all these physicians and all these medical staff people and stuff to figure out, okay, how do we make Dr. Summerall feel real? Because everybody that has went through this so far, it's funny to hear the audience reaction, because those that have never went through it, they're watching it in a different way than those that have. And those that have went through it, God love you guys, but stay positive and get through it strong. But
nobody loves the memory of being told those things.
What?
Be like, oh, it was so sweet. It made all the difference, right?
Yeah.
I felt like all the characterization was through the eyes of Ben, like what he remembered, like it was being told to me by him.
But it was. I mean, that's the whole point. When a movie starts out, you think he's in one place in his life and stuff, and it carries you through the 30-year lifespan, but halfway in an important part of the movie, it comes back to life and it shakes you and shakes you out of where you're at and makes you start thinking. Right. And that's the transition. And so it was very strategic what we were trying to do. And like I said, we talked to a lot of counselors and a lot of people before we decided that this was the final script and this is what we're going to do.
Some of my favorite movies are the British situations where they have all the different relationships and they come together in this final like car chase or something, and they're funny, but it's serious, like Four Weddings and a Funeral and those kind of movies where they've all these situations. And I kind of felt like without the comedy, this had that element because you got to know the best friends, both of the couple each had their own best friend that came in and out of the story, their parents, the doctor, all the different people that were involved to get to that final message of hope. So, what was it like? Was that were they real people, or did you?
Yeah, it was important for me to cast. Yeah, it was important for me to cast people, not actors, and I cast people's personalities. You're talking about Michael, which plays Ben's, the character Michael, which plays Ben's best friend in here. And, he's a stand-up comedian as well. Chris, he's amazing. And what I did right was I stepped away. I stepped back as a director and allowed my actors to do what they were cast to do. And the only time I really had to step in was when I wanted to tweak things, or if it was just not on the right level of emotion that I was trying to get it to, And all I got to do is I just had to fluff and finesse through the whole thing. And that's, you know, directing actors like that is a dream. The script was an actor's script. We gave them freedom to add elements and moments of their own selves within the characters. And so it kind of makes it feel really natural and flows really well.
Well, it sure does. I can't wait to see it again. And everybody who's watching this, we get a lot of people come in and watch the replay. I will put the link in so that you can find out where it's playing near you and go and see it this weekend. And there's a couple of prize things going on, so definitely follow the Facebook. They're all Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. So everywhere Miz Meliz is, you can also find New Life. And there's so much we can't tell you about the story, but that's what makes it wonderful. One thing I do want to ask you though, because I don't really know how to make this a question. Has this come up before? Any relation to the movie Up? Because my son, when he watched it, he goes, I kind of felt like I was watching the real life Up with the storyline.
When I was editing this front half of it, it was the hardest part for me was to get the front half or the front quarter to work right. And I said, you know, it'd be great. And we worked with some great directors and stuff. Red Sky down in Alabama, and then I brought it down to Austin, Texas, and I brought it to LA, and I brought it back to Alabama. But we started talking about it, Aaron and I started talking about it. I said, well, it would be so great if we could just capture the essence and the emotion that Up had at the beginning of it. And so we went back to re-edit it, and I took that approach and edited it to make it feel like that. Because the whole story, like you said, is very similar to that. It's just a real life one. So we don't have dogs, we don't have balloons, we don't have
the talking dog. We just kept waiting.
I wish we had a talking dog. That'd be awesome.
Well, I'm glad you didn't put a talking dog in it. Such a touching story. Thank you. Your story of how you created it and brought it about is touching. I'm happy to meet you, and I look forward to finding out what you do next.
Well, we got some new things coming up, but New Life is our baby right now. We want to get it out the gate and get everybody to see it, and you know, we hope it impacts everyone like it's impacted us. And you know, find out more about us. Go to newlifethemovie.com. You can see our trailer. It opens up as soon as the site opens our trailer, and you can go through all the aspects of what's going on with New Life. We're attached to some great causes, Water for Good and Show Hope, and so our Gentleman Entertainment is always about giving back, not just taking. And so every one of our properties will have some attachment to some organization that we can help out and give back. Mud Love, I don't know if you guys can see these. Mud Love, they're a company that make bracelets and mugs and all kinds of things. On our site, just click on Mud Love and you'll see all our products that they're selling. We don't share in the profit. All the profit proceeds go to Water and Seeds, or Water for Goods, and Show Hope. So, and Show Hope is to give grants to help families adopt children, and Water for Good, it drills well in Central America and gives clean water to kids and their family.
That's such an important cause too. I've worked for other charities that raise money to put water, and we take it for granted here, but people, you know, are bathing and drinking contaminated water, and we have to make sure that doesn't happen, because
it's a shame that today and age and stuff that we're still going through that. I mean, but you look at California, we're such a drought right now that it's who knows where it's going to go, but we kind of put ourselves in this system, this situation, and we just got to start working together and resolve these issues across, around the world. On the other note, yeah, just go and see New Life this Friday. Selective theaters. So go to our website, find a theater near you, share it, tell your friends. Whoever shares it the most has a one-on-one with me if you want it. Or maybe we'll give it if you want to talk to Aaron. We'll figure that out as well. But and then if you want to find more about our company, what's coming up, go to argentumentertainment.com. You can find it at newlifethemovie.com as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing all that with me. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me on Tinsel Town Live. Drew, you're such a superstar. I don't know, you were off camera, I think, when I was talking about why you're a superstar to me. And I think that's because you put so much of your own heart and soul into what you're doing. And it's important that you set that example for people. So that's the type of movie star I like to follow. And thank you for being here. And good luck with your project. And thank you to everybody who's watching.
Yes, thank you guys. Thanks for supporting us.
Okay, so next week on Tinsel Town Live, actually tomorrow night I have a special Tinsel Town Live, everybody. It's my 3rd annual spooky Tinsel Town Live with Joe Moe, my horror film expert from Monster Magazine. He's going to be here with us tonight. We're going to do our pre-Halloween show. And then next week, I've got Patty Whitfler, who's a parenting expert. So we have everything here on MizMeliz.com and on Tinsel Town Live. Thank you so much for joining me, and good night, everybody. Good night, Drew.
Good night.
So I have to remember how to go off here. Okay, I barely got